y'all doing out there? Welcome to another Raising the Bar talk show. I am your host at Real King Henry. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Real King Henry. Follow One of a Kind Fish and Chips on Facebook. Follow the 101 Family Productions YouTube channel. Yeah, just tapping in with y'all one time. There's something on my mind I want to talk about. I want to talk about being content and complacency. You know, I noticed that it's like when we get a certain age, and I see a certain age bracket, especially my 40-year-old and up. It seems like we get complacent, and a lot of us get content. You know, we don't want to learn anything new, bring anything new to the table, expand your horizons. And I just feel like, if you ever get to a place where you're content, you're complacent, considering how the world's evolving, how everything is changing, you might as well just give up. You might as well just hang it up, pack it up, say you pretty much done living, you done learning. Because what I see and what I notice is a lot of people are, they're just content where they be, they're content where they at, just very complacent. But I just feel like, how can you be content and complacent when, so many different things going on around us? Don't nobody want to try to do nothing. People want to be content, don't want to try to expand their horizons, don't want to try to do anything new, read new books, try new ventures. And I'm just not one to be content and complacent. You know what I mean? Because you only get one go at this thing, man. You only get one shot at this life thing. You only get one. Ain't no extra men. Ain't no coming back doing it over. So I just feel like, say for instance, like I'm always trying to better our business, better grow our business, look for new ways, network with people and things of that nature. So, say for instance, even with my talk show, I wasn't content at how it was looking, whatever. So I had to upgrade and go get a new camera. You know what I mean? So this is a new 8K camera I got. I kind of like it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not content. I wasn't content the way my product was coming out. You know what I'm saying? So you should never be content on no level. I hope y'all been keeping up with the news and all these executive orders that your president has been signing. I encourage people to start learning about crypto, Bitcoin. My God, shout out to Chris. Shout out to Chris in Life, man. Chris Huffman, he got me hip to Bitcoin and crypto a while ago. But if you realize now he's signing executive orders, crypto is going to be a real game changer here shortly, man. So, we just need to learn how to adapt. You know what I mean? Like, I just think people our age, they just start giving up. You know what I mean? It's like they don't want to, just want to just go to work, come home, and they complacent with that. If that's the life you want to live, that's cool. But as long as you're able, as long as you're physically and mentally capable, you should never stop learning. You should always learn something new, learn how to put something new into what you do. When it comes to business, when it comes to whatever you do, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you like to do, always find ways to incorporate something new to change how you do it. You know what I mean? Because the world is ever changing. Things around us, technology is forever changing. So you have to keep up with that type of stuff, man. I'm not saying, you have to be a scientist or, a technical type person. But you have to keep up with these changing things. You can't be content and be complacent. You're going to get left behind. We are already behind when it comes to a lot of stuff. We're behind, so far behind the 8 ball, it's not even funny. But you can't be content, man. I try to give people new information. I don't try to, share the life insurance game with people. Some people just don't want to hear it. Some people don't want to take the time to understand it. There's just so much different things going on in the world that you can't be complacent or you really going to be behind the 8 ball. What are we doing moving forward to help each other. You know what I mean? I see we had the boycott or whatever, but now what? You know what I mean? We did it for one day. You did the boycott one time or whatever. So now what? You know what I mean? Just back to the regular scheduled programming, huh? Just back to the regular whoop-de-doo, back to the regular, you know, showing our teeth, making people laugh or whatever, man. But yo, we're in a time right now where everything ain't all funny. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff going on in the world, man. You know what I mean? Especially for us black folks, man. We just choose not to pick up books. We choose not to read. We choose not. We just stuck. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you can never be stuck, man. You gotta raise the bar yourself, man. You gotta challenge yourself. You know what I mean? I don't care how old you are, man. You gotta stay challenging yourself. You gotta stay the course. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, anybody that's trying. And people that's not content and not complacent, they always trying, man. Don't worry about what the other people say, man. You know, people hate you for trying. I really noticed that. You know, people hate you for trying. But you can't worry about people, man. That's the problem. We get caught up in what people say and what other people think, what other people, man, who cares? At the end of the day, nobody really cares for real. You know what I'm saying? We're in a selfish, I type of world right now. You know what I mean? And I blame social media. I blame social media a lot for this selfish world that we living in. You know? Because to me, social media, it really breeds hate and division. You really want to be honest. You know, it brings hate and division. Instead of congratulating people like to sit back and hate, criticize, just because people are taking the necessary steps to improve themselves. But when I see other people, I don't take it as hate or nothing like that. I learn from anybody. I learn from anything. I learn from anybody's situation. If it's something that I could take from somebody and incorporate it in what I'm doing, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? I salute anybody that's taking that effort, taking the chance, go out of their comfort zone, do something different for their family, try for their family. Well, I appreciate that. But it's just complacency, man. That's all I really want to just speak on, man. Because, like I said, you see the economic change. You see the dollar ain't really worth too much. So I challenge you, what are you going to do to change your future course, change your narrative? You know what I mean? Change your kids' narrative, man. You know what I mean? We're just in a selfish world right now. It's all about I. You know, if that's what you content to do, if you complacent with that, if you cool with that, by all means. But I try to be inclusive. I like to be inclusive. But when you include people, they really have a disdain for you just because you're trying. You know what I mean? Just because you're doing, people don't like to see other people do it. So that's why I think really, you know, social media really brings a lot of hate, a lot of disingenuous type of energy. You know what I mean? Social media is not a real place, y'all. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be used what it's for, man. It's supposed to be used for marketing, used to you know, your platform, used to get your point across. That's about it, man. But you know, we all know it's all about judgment out here. You know, everybody wants to judge, everybody wants to point fingers. But you know, I digress. I just want to talk a little bit about content complacency. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like change, and I don't understand how you don't like change when the world is always changing around you. You can't do the same things knowing that the world is changing around you and expect you to get the same results or good results. You know, everything's changing, man. So never be content, man. Never be complacent. I just want to speak on that. Challenge yourself to do better. Challenge yourself to do better for the people around you. You know? So, yo, with that being said, follow the YouTube channel, 101 Family Productions. Yo, we're original, family based, produce whatever we want. One of a kind fish and chips, Nina's Way Daycare. I'm in the financial service industry. Hit me up. If you're trying to learn about the financial service industry, because look, the money's getting tight. What are you gonna do later on, man? You know what I mean? You need to find a way. We need to find a method. Help each other to find ways to, you know, outpace inflation. You know what I mean? We need to learn some of these things. But you know, like I said, Nina's Way Daycare. You need for child care services, we got you. Catering services, we got you. Financial service industry, need life insurance, need a policy, need a license. I got you. Need some photography, need a videography, editing. We got you. So I'll never be content, man. You know what I mean? I'm a boss and a worker at the same time. I'll never be content as long as there's breath in my lungs and I'm able, physically able, mentally able, and still have the capacity. I'm gonna keep going, man. I encourage y'all to do the same. So tap in, Raising the Bar Talk Show. Elevate yourself, man. Raise your own bar, man. Elevate yourself, challenge yourself. I challenge you to challenge yourself. With that being said, yo, I'm out.